What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga. This time I'll be reacting to the Parting and the Feast chapters, the final two chapters from this volume. Might be slightly, I'm not sure if the episode is going to be weird, but I'm recording this later than I usually would, and I'm recording this a few days in advance, so I'm now going to be kind of two reactions ahead of where I release the episodes. Which is more confusing to me than anyone else. But I'm going to be busy next Friday, so I thought I'd get ahead. Obviously, we're going to be ending off the volume this time, which is going to be absolutely nuts, I think, considering the names of the chapters and what we've just gone through as well. We've just pretty much gone through all the kind of, I wouldn't say clean stuff, but the kind of early parts of the eclipse. And again, things are going to be starting getting crazy. Do let me know what you guys think of this episode though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. I've got a bit of a weird way to start off, but I noticed when I was getting ready for this, going back through the chapters, we've got two sets of bums as the first image on two of the chapters, where I don't think we've had that at all in the previous 11 volumes. We've got Puck right here. Bit of a weird detail, I know. And we've also got Slain. It's just a bit of an odd occurrence, isn't it, that happened twice within kind of span of two chapters, where it's been like 70. But yeah, it's not that big a deal, is it? But yeah, we finished off last time with the castle, going over Griffith's backstory, which was absolutely fucking brilliant, wasn't it? One of my favourite parts of this eclipse. It wasn't in the anime. In the anime, it was pretty much the same, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I just mulling it over a bit more in the manga, kind of spending a bit more time on it. I actually preferred it here, and again, one of my actual favourite moments now. Although I haven't actually got past this yet, it might end up not being one of them. But I just loved it. Like this shot right here, a lot of the artwork, just how it just felt a bit more brutal as well. Seeing this, seeing the kid with the toy soldier. I imagine they left a little bit of this out just because I think we saw the toy soldier. I'm not sure if we saw this kid, but yeah, it's kind of even more brutal when they got kids involved, isn't it? That was a kind of major thing. Horror movies, they didn't want any kind of kids dying or anything to do with kids on the screens. I think they're a bit more lax about that nowadays, but it just makes it even worse, doesn't it? Actually seeing the boy. Yeah, some brilliant moments last chapter. I can't remember exactly where he left off. Yeah, like scenes like this where Griffith's fucking piling up this dead boy's body just as another step on his goal to reach that palace, that kingdom. It was a brilliant chapter. Don't want to get too hung up with it though, so we'll get right into the parting. Again, might be slightly weird, just because again I'm recording this a lot later than I usually would. Parting. Was that an illusion? It was no illusion. It's the reality within our conscious realm. So yeah, it's like that wasn't the past, obviously. That was a bit, that was like what his inside soul was, kind of what was happening inside of him, what's happening in his soul, what his kind of unconscious is doing. Sure, I really like this. I'm not sure if this was meant to be a thing, but it almost kind of looks like the hands coming up from these two panels right here. It's the reality within your conscious realm. So it's kind of like what's going on now mixed with the past / who Griffith is. Kind of almost like a bit of a dream almost as well. Not really sure what a conscious realm is. I imagine it's something like your subconscious though. Although it's the conscious realm, so you're conscious of it, so maybe I'm just absolutely wrong in saying that, but eyeing the castle in the sky, taking it by piling up corpses endlessly. That is you. It is him. A bit more ruthless than the Griffith. We've seen Griffith do some things and very much in line with that, but it's always kind of had a bit of makeup on it, always kind of dressed up a bit nicer. because it's kind of for the sake of the Hawk. It's for the sake of Griffith's dream, but all of the Hawk are involved in Griffith's dream, so it's kind of for the sake of everyone. So it's a little bit made a little bit better in that way. But to its essence, it is just as ruthless as what we just saw, isn't it? As piling up the dead bodies, ultimately using everyone on your path as a stepping stone towards your own greatness. Using people, manipulating them, killing them even. It's just as dark as what we just saw, but again, it's been kind of put in makeup to not look that way. I just think that's brilliant writing, isn't it? Kind of changing the viewpoint of everything that's kind of gone past. Like a massive twist in like a Hollywood movie, but slightly more effective. Over thousands of your comrades' corpses, over the tens of thousands of corpses they in turn amassed. Over those corpses with no identities, no names, you have trampled as you came, but with one desire in mind. That's the thing as well. We don't ever see the kind of. They have these battles and these wars and such, but we never see what comes after for the people that were there before or anything. We never see again the kind of ruthless parts of it, the horrible parts that does bring. As we see this image here, which again we've never seen anything like it before, but probably happens after a lot of battles with the Hawk. Abandoned kids, dead parents clutching and trying to save their babies. Almost a bit like what's going on in Vinland Saga right now. Obviously, I think Vinland Saga came quite a bit after this, but it's an aspect I really like what's going on in that story right now as well. Wow, a whole spread page for. Usually it's like a big image or something, isn't it? Like a really awesome artwork. But I like that they've done this. Again, it's getting very much quite intertwined and complex in the story, isn't it, right now? So I like that they've done this. And now your back alley path has been interrupted. But behold. Yeah, I think I know where to read. It's going to be a little complex. Those who have flown with you. I'm getting more used to it, I think, though. Those who have flown with you, the hawk's wings, the feathers, one by one. One by one. At the end of your blood-soaked journey, the ones left to you, even as they shake with fear, they gaze up upon you with clear eyes. Even if they are now crushed by despair, they should forgive you. They should welcome you warmly. What's going on up there? Then you can go on living. Commit your wounded self to them, burying everything in exchange for the past. Bury everything in exchange for the past, for that little boy's wish. Will you give up your wings? Never. I'd say never, but again, I'm not quite as crazed, psychotic, I guess. I'm not really sure what the word is for Griffith. There are definitely words to describe that, though, I think, in a psychological aspect. I'm just not educated enough. Yeah, let's have a look at the artwork here again. I really like these blacked out designs. The finger of the god hand here slain. Oh, I didn't even notice that. We'll just forget that existed. And get this awesome shot here with the silhouettes of the monsters as well. Just looming. All these sweaty faces. Porcus's face looks like a donkey. But Casca looks quite composed, actually. Jadao looks like he's shitting it. Pippin also looks as scared as we've ever seen him. As Guts is just still climbing up the faces. Your back alley path has been interrupted. Those who have flown with you, the hawk's wings, the feathers, one by one. At the end of your blood-soaked journey, the ones left to you, even as they shake with fear, they gaze at you with clear eyes. They should forgive you. She's saying they're going to forgive him for sacrificing them. Even if they are now crushed by despair, they should welcome you warmly. Then you can go on living. It's just so swiftly gazing over these people, isn't it? It's just, they should forgive you. They should welcome you warmly. These people that have been fighting for you for like the past year and just barely surviving, using everything they had. It could have just ended. The band could have just ended on the mission to save Griffith, but they just kind of swept right over. And I think that is very much a psychopath's or a psychotic person. Again, I'm no doctor. There's a mindset right there, both from Slade and what she's trying to ingrain in Griffith as well, which is already kind of ingrained in Griffith, so he relates to that a lot, I imagine. Yeah, he probably takes those words quite to chest. That's a saying. In the ruins of your dream. Ruins of my dream? Bury everything in exchange for the past in the ruins of your. That is the cruel grace of the god born of man. The cruel grace of the god born of man. Damn. Some profound stuff right there, Void. Even so, if you still see it, we got another big page right here. Big page. You guys probably laughing at me calling it that. A wing flap. Oh, it's his skelly hand. I think it just looks quite funny there, doesn't it? That little blob. If even now that castle is in your eyes more dazzling than anything. They know where they're hitting with him, don't they? They know exactly where his desires lay. Even so, if you still see it, if even now that castle is in your eyes more dazzling than anything, as it's just in the clouds right there, like in his dreams, like when you go to bed at night and you're just dreaming the clouds going by, the castle's just there. They just know, don't they? They just got them tied around their finger almost. They know that's his will. They know that's his conscience. I love this shot of him right here, though. It looks amazing, doesn't it? It makes you very interested about the anatomy, considering his hand is that fucking long. Like, what's going on under there? What's going on under there? Probably a lot more than I think. I'm expecting. That's just a sick shot, isn't it? Everything about this. Griffith looking up to it. Just castle in the sky, and then boy, just like, yes, I know. That's so sick. I love this. I would use this as the thumbnail if it didn't have the text. That's such a sick shot. Be good to have this as a poster or something. Oh shit, here's the branding. Oh shit. Then pile it up. Take all you have left. Chant the words, I sacrifice, in your heart. And you shall be granted raven black wings, upon which you shall soar in the heavens, higher than any summit. Oh, there's a little teaser at it right there. The hawk. Damn, that was another sick shot right here. Fucking hell. The artwork in this volume has been insane, hasn't it? Probably the best yet, artwork wise. How could it not be though? Again, he's got so much free reign for the monsters and the god hand. Must take so fucking long. Brand. That skelly hand. Long as hell, isn't it? It's almost like a marionette, like a puppeteer. Almost. He does quite look like one with that like kind of long cape and long hands. Maybe that's poetic that he does look like that. Another sick shot here again, just foreshadowing the evolution. Do you know what? I kind of related to the Yu-Gi-Oh card, like Petit Moth, Griffith, Cocoon of Evolution. I think it is Griffith in his weakened, abused state after the year of torture, and this being the perfect, the ultimate great moth. If it sorry, I've gone a bit of a tangent again. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh teaches you a lot about life. I'm actually very glad that that's actually I think that I never noticed, but that is a Japanese animation, and in general, Japanese anime TV is very kind of what's the word for it? I forget the word for it. Psychological is not the word for it. Kind of teaches you like life lessons and such. I forget what the word is. Who knows? But yeah, it kind of teaches you a lot about like life, and it gives you like shonens, for example. They give you a lot of again, they just teach you how to live your life. It's a key word. The word is a big one I'm missing right here, but again, it's just it has a bit more to it than like English or American cartoons, where it's just for fun, really. They teach you stuff here and there, but Japanese anime TV really does kind of teach you like hard hitting like life lessons, like adult truths and such, and kind of truths that when you're a teenager growing into your adult kind of years are very much important to you, that nowhere else really teaches you. It kind of philosophy, that's the one. Philosophical see, that's a key word I'm missing right there. Has a lot of philosophical kind of stuff in there, which again, Japanese, American and English TV shows, well, I watched anyway, really didn't have. Again, it was just nonsensical kind of fun and action and stuff, but there's just a bit more. So I think in Japan, their kids do kind of grow up right if they're watching kind of shonen anime, for example. I've learned a lot of lessons in my life, not exactly from just shonens, but Clan Ad After Story being a major one that taught me some major life lessons. Sangatsu no Lion right now is hitting hard with the topics they're covering. This show as well, just anime in general, just every show has got a little something to it, a little bit more than just the kind of fun and kind of gore and such to it, hasn't it? So yeah, I forget where I was at now. I forget where I was at now. A bit of a tangent right there again. Okay, let's get back to this. If it be the reason that destiny transcends human intellect and make playthings of children, it is the cause and effect that a child bear his evil and confront his destiny. If it be reason that destiny transcends human intellect and make playthings of children, it is cause and effect that a child bear his evil and confront destiny. Griffith! Yes, we finally got up here. Where did that even come from, that whole tangent right there I was just talking about? I forget. I literally just forget. How did I get up on that topic? Oh, it's about the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yeah, like I was saying then. It's even something as silly seeming as Yu-Gi-Oh, which didn't even start out as a card game, but ended up being a children's card game. Teaches a lot of stuff that I've used later on in life. I'm glad I grew up with that, as much as it was kind of ruined by 4Kids. I did eventually watch the subs. Yes. He's saying yes to Void there, isn't he? As much as it looks quite hopeful that he's saying yes to Guts after shouting his name. Perhaps he is. I could be wrong, but he lifts his head up, looks over. Or maybe he's just saying yes because now he's finally, he does look a bit more enlightened. He's finally happy he can carry on his dream. He's achieved it. He's only got a couple more things to do, and he's there. Oh wow. Among the thousands of comrades and tens of thousands of enemies, you're the only one. So he was speaking to Guts. Among the thousands of comrades, tens of thousands of enemies, you're the only one. You're the only one. Damn. Old school image right here. Do you know what? It feels like this was like 100 years ago. Feels like this was like ancient history. And it wasn't even that long ago. A couple years probably. 2 years. Who I can call my equal, I think is the words. My only equal. The only one. I guess that kind of relates a bit to their childhood then, I guess. Even though Griffiths is not quite as bad as Guts, I think Void does say something, doesn't he, about the children. Child bears his evil, confronts destiny. I guess they've both got to bear their evil that they were born in then. Guts more than anyone, I think. Guts was born in horrible fucking conditions. Evil conditions is what you'd call it. So I guess he's got that destiny as well. Maybe that is why they're both on the same footing. Maybe that childhood that they had, as much as Griffiths didn't seem that bad, it probably was a bit more ruthless than the average kid nowadays, especially. And what he's done afterwards has been a bit more ruthless as well, but perhaps that's why these two bonded right from the off. Their upbringing, the way they lived their lives, the circumstances they're born in and put under and kind of shaped themselves under. There's a lot of factors, I imagine. That's just an awesome shot again right there, isn't it? Old school. Who made me forget my dream. Sacrifice. He said it. He said it. And he did forget his dream, didn't he? Griffith. Guts kind of took over that spotlight. Their relationship. Griffith looks very beautiful right there, doesn't he? Again, very woman-like. Sacrifice, as he says those words. That's amazing, isn't it? In the same panel, there's something as kind of beautiful as that. It was a very good thing to happen to Griffith, to be honest, wasn't it? I guess that dream kind of was his darkness as a kid, and kind of developing years. That dream was the kind of do all, be all, put anyone into, sacrifice anyone for. Where when he forgot that, he was actually some of the more light years, wasn't it, with Guts. That's why, again, things didn't seem too bad. They didn't seem very kind of dark. So they did have some moments of like Guts killing a kid, for example, and stuff so like that, like Griffith manipulating people, manipulating their lives. But I just love again just the duality up there, and then Griffith right at the bottom. As off he goes. That's a bit of a warm look on Griffith's face there. Go, Griffith! As he gets clasped by the hand. Damn. Gagoing. Gagoning. A weird sound effect. The threads bundled by the laws of casualty have now been bound. The promised time has come. As he's about to put that brand on everyone. It's mark of sacrifice. Look at Void's head here. Looks like a ball sack. Love this. Again, I love these blackout shots, to be honest with you. Look so cool, don't they? Full wingspan right here. It's about to loom darkness on everyone. I still find this guy's silhouette so funny. So are these loads of little brands behind it that are going to be splitting out to everyone, I guess? Yeah, off they go. Damn. So, just a quick one, because again, I've seen the movies and I've seen the anime. Movies especially, we know that we didn't know this. I don't think we know this in the anime, but Casca survived, forgetting her memories and such. Maybe we did. Maybe we did. Maybe we did get to that point. But is she still then branded after she forgets her memories and everything? I can't imagine it just goes, right? So I think I was especially hoping during the end of the anime. So yeah, I think it was in the anime, because I think I remember saying that I kind of want her to kind of live a life away from all this, away from fighting and the battles and the band. She might end up just going back to it anyway and kind of becoming herself again, if you know what I'm saying, like her natural calling. Might just end up going back to that anyway, but would she still then have the brand, even if she was living peacefully? These monsters would still come after her then, I guess. So maybe we can't just kind of leave her to live a life by herself or with a husband or anything, live a quiet life, which sucks. I guess we'll find out later on. Again, I've got no idea what happened to Casca. She has a lot of the band gets branded here. She gets branded right in the heart of all places. So I didn't notice that. His Corgus is on his head. Maybe the worst place. Whipping on his big arm. Oh, it's all actually quite poetic, really, isn't it? Actually, maybe I'm not really sure what it means for Corgus, but Jadao on his hand he's got very skillful hands, hasn't he? He's good at throwing knives and such. He's quite good with his hands. Pippin's got big arms. Casca's got a big heart. He's the leader of the band right now. I didn't notice that originally, but it's all very poetic actually where they get branded, isn't it? And Guts is on his neck, which I'm not sure the reason to that. Headstrong, kind of holding the head up. I'm chatting shit right there. that's a grasp right there. I got no idea. If any of you guys can tell me, please do. Then I think it's pretty poetic with these. I think I know the reason as to why they got branded where they did, but if that even means anything, I think it does. On the neck, maybe that's just again the kind of reference to Close to Darkness, because that's like the most cutthroat kind of dangerous area, perhaps. On the back of the neck, though, I don't know. Again, if you guys have any ideas, please leave some comments. Oh wow, another one of these. I love looking at these. Well, here we go. Because I've probably spent a long time on this chapter, haven't I? Because yeah, 30 minutes. Well, actually not that long. Because I've been kind of ranting and raving about stuff away from this, which kind of relate to it in a way. But yeah, I've gone on a few tangents. I think it's because again it's quite late at night, so that happens. So we shall self-center this one. I don't even know if these monsters need to be censored because they're not human, are they? I guess it's a boob nevertheless. But yeah, this is the final shot for this chapter. And wow, it's probably way too much for me to digest it. It's probably way too much, but I'll start at the top left. I'm not going to kind of talk about every design, but I really like that kind of bird looking one. It's almost got like the mouth of like the horns of a beetle. It kind of looks like a bird in the top left with a humanish body. That looks really cool. That does. That thing in the top right as well. That spider face. Okay, and the designs are just sick, aren't they? Oh, there's another one of those kind of body demon ones with the actual body of the human on top in the middle here, to the middle right. Just like we saw from Riald. Imagine trying to animate this though. Like they do try and animate this in the anime, and it doesn't look that great, and it looks nowhere near as fucking good as this. But imagine trying to make a movie, like a live action movie with this as well. That would be a fucking nightmare for Hollywood studios. It would have to be CG, but you better fucking make it a hell of a CG shot, otherwise it will just look like crap. If you try and make this practical, then well, like good luck. Good luck. Again, I mentioned this pretty much every episode, but the movie, The Thing, the effects on that like were absolutely ruthless, and they're just kind of singular shots of like a singular creature at a time most of the time. And this is like doing that times like 50, I imagine it'd be. It would be one of the best looking horror movies ever if it had this and it had practical effects for this. But again, I think it's just literally impossible. You can never see anything like this in anything that looks like this and this good in a Hollywood horror movie. I don't think. Maybe that will get proven wrong in a few years though. Maybe that'll get proven wrong. I do like that we're kind of, the horror industry is one of the industries that still kind of used a lot of practical effects, and they kind of got to because it just looks really good in horror movies. Special effects don't all look too great in horror movies. You can kind of very easily tell a lot of the time. As the hawk is in absolutely disorder at the bottom. I don't even check the bottom of this panel yet, as they're in absolute disorder, because what the hell do you do when you've got a wall of this? You've got 90% of your vision is this. What the hell do you do? There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Just die. You just die. There is one more page, to be fair. It's another one of these, isn't it? Guts looking shocked. Another little reaction page. Yeah, awesome second to last chapter here, and we'll get right into the. Why do I feel like that looks almost like cut off at the top there? Feels like I should be able to go up, but is what it is, I guess. The feast. So I think I know what's going to be happening during this one. I think we might see the end to Hawk members here. Unfortunately, let's get this really cool looking monster again. Almost looks like a a dragon mixed with a fish. I think there is a Japanese kind of with a snake in its mouth as well. I think there is like a Japanese creature that does it quite similar to this. Don't know what's called though. Look how freaky these ones are. This guy on the right, this one here as well. Oh, the bloody hell! This one, it's the ones with the human faces that look very creepy, isn't it? Like the ones with the faces just above their bodies. They always look really, really weird. The feast. Damn, we're starting out with another one of these. Oh my god. It looks even worse for them in this shot, doesn't it? Oh, there's Mother Slugger. Here's Mother Slugger. That's like twice we've seen him now. Three times if you include the actual chapters that we saw him in. But we saw him very early on, didn't we? Mother Slugger. Damn, look at this one. This one's like part elephant front / rhino. A horn like that. These ones with the big faces as well are always creepy, but just look at that. How creepy these guys are. Again, it's the human like faces that are the scariest. This one looks like Seadramon from Digimon. But kind of got a funny smile. And he's another one of those with these weird fucking faces on it. Again, this is the worst part of most of them, isn't it? These weird fucking strange faces that do these weird facial expressions. I don't know if it's just me that finds them some of the creepiest, but I do. This one's like a decayed dragon. Oh my god, I didn't even notice this one. Look at this one. Oh wow, that's his bottom bit. That almost looks like a reasonably cute face. Here. And then you get this, and then you get his again, it's the human part which is the worst part. Look at his hands as well. It almost looks like a chicken. It almost looks like a chicken you're about to stuff, but with like a human face on top. Again, I love these designs. Quality designs. It's like pig thing on the left here. The skelly body there. Yeah, Mother Slugger. And like a almost a Demogorgon looking one here. That does very much look like a Demogorgon right there, doesn't it? In the bottom right. Oh, look at this guy's face. And this one as well. Like the author, the mangaka, I should say, is the mangaka the author? Is that the same thing? I imagine so, right? You don't have to do this, but he has. He's just putting these little expressions in the kind of gaps. Oh, is this the continuation of that skull one? I didn't notice this one. It's like a bit of a whip, kind of tentacle creature. I have noticed this one, by the way, but I just don't know what. I think we saw a really small version of it earlier on, a few chapters ago. Pretty basic like that one. And of course, we have everyone in the middle who is dead. You are dead. You are all dead. You are all dead. I know a lot of people hate spiders, so people are going to hate this one. That one looks like a bit of an eel. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. A cracked face in the middle, but like two faces. Designs are just sick, aren't they? There's so many as well. I don't know if you like. I doubt you guys. Like, why would anyone count? But imagine if you did count. I'm pretty good at estimations, by the way. Don't toot my own horn, but in primary school, I remember. I think I was like 10 or something. We got asked to like guess how many small like gumballs are in this big glass jar. I guess like 590 or something. It ended up being like 594. So I was like four or something away, and it's everyone was pretty gassed. But I've always been pretty good at that kind of quick kind of stuff. Got a good what's it called? Intuition. Yeah, how many demons do you reckon we've seen at this point? Was my point. Probably like 300, 400 at this point in just this volume, I imagine. The amount of fucking designs we've seen has been off the charts. As we see everyone get eaten. Just chomped on. God, imagine getting eaten by this guy. He hasn't even got teeth to eat you with. He'll crush you. A massacre. A unliteral. Oh, I was going to say it's pretty literal. A unilateral. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that means. Unilateral. That means uni usually means everything, like all encompassing. Lateral, all around, I guess. An all around slaughter, I think is what that means. A unilateral slaughter. A lot of these guys could very much kind of pass for Power Rangers villains as well, probably. Maybe not many of them because they're a bit horrific, but I almost get reminded sometimes some of these guys, sometimes a little bit of those kind of Power Rangers villains from when I was like a kid. That's another Japanese show that I didn't realise was Japanese as well, although that didn't really have too much philosophical stuff. As again, just kind of friendship and power of friendship and such, which is a good thing to learn, don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot more as well. This one almost looks like a bit of a depressed dog. With those eyes like that, almost looks a bit sad. Yeah, like this one for example, these couple for example is what I'm talking about. Like they very much look like kind of could be Power Rangers villain faces. Maybe not what they're doing, but what they look like. Like a fish or something. You just see limbs flying, heads as well. Even the horse. Look at the horse. The horse is like, fuck this shit. Oh my god. This guy's one greasy bastard. 3 at once. Oh, got the mark on the head. It was a feast. Sure fucking was. Gluttonously devouring everything. The Inhumans' twisted feast. God, the artwork has just been insane, hasn't it? It's just never ending, which is very indicative of the kind of torture and the demented stuff that's happening right now. It's never ending, just death and feasting and ruthlessness. And look at everyone at the bottom. And they really do a great job of making these monsters. Again, like I mentioned a few volumes ago, I think it might have been last volume, about the kind of scaling of things and the scaling of characters and the size that they give off. I mean, the monsters take up like 8/10 of this panel, and you just get the bottom feeders, the humans, that it's just very indicative of what's going on. Again, it's just small things that add a lot to the kind of overall feel of what's going on. It's just ruthless behaviour. Like the horses are getting it. Anyone can catch it. All these men that was once which part of the Hawk, all would put their lives on the line for Griffith, and they have done that. Not in the way they'd hoped for or wanted to. The good thing is though about me doing these videos at night, I feel a bit more comfortable doing it now, but it is what I was about to say. I haven't just woke up. I haven't got to kind of wake up part way during the recording. I've been awake all day. Whereas like I said, I was pretty much as soon as I wake up, I just have breakfast, have a shower, brush my teeth, and record Berserk. I've had time to wake up today at least. I'm not sure how healthy it is for you to like wake up and go to like extreme horror. I do watch most of my movies at night though, to be fair. Pretty much all of them. There's just more of a vibe at night to horror movies and movies in general, I think, to just watching the darkness. What is this? Is it real? This shot right here. Just a half-eaten face just flowing by you. The guts over the top of your head and his arm. Like Jesus Christ. Just parts of his blood and skin just imagine that. Oh my god, half this guy's face just flew past me. Eyeball and everything. Look at this bastard. Why are we in this place? That's that same face dropping down. Actually, I'm not sure that's the same one. The one we saw a minute ago had teeth. Ah, oh, fuck. I hate doing that. I hate doing it so much I haven't done it in a long time. I've been careful until now. As you get a bird's eye view of the behaviours. Just look at this. And you know this goes on for however long. This pile of monsters. Guts just looks on. What has now been engraved upon your bodies is the brand of sacrifice. The lives of those engraved with the brand are our demonic offerings to the last drop of blood, to the moment of agonizing death. It's quite a cool little symbol. I imagine it's quite a popular tattoo. I think I have seen actually on Twitter a few people with this tattoo. I've always thought about an anime tattoo. I've only got one tattoo, and because they're so expensive and they take a long while, and you got to look after them as well. I haven't had one in a long time. I haven't had one since that first one. It's been a long time. So I'm trying to say I'm probably going to get another one eventually, probably around the same area. But yeah, it's just like when can I find time, and when can I have time like to not play football? Because it's going to be because obviously when I play football there's a load of dirt and probably all sorts of infections. You've got to like keep it wrapped up and moisturised and look after it. It's a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. And it's painful as well. So I'm not actually even sure if I want another one. The first one I had took like 6 hours and it's quite painful. I was not expecting it to take that long. That's actually quite good considering. I was probably shaken quite a bit and probably quite restless. I did smoke at the time as well, which I imagine is quite a factor because I had to wait quite a while. I did have a cigarette halfway through, I think. Yeah, don't smoke anymore. I think it's, not sure how long it's been now. Off topic again though. Yeah, if I was to get an anime tattoo, it would be something like that, like a symbol. I remember I was thinking about the Hunter x Hunter symbol with the X's. I thought that looked quite cool. I think I was also thinking about another symbol. I can't remember what though. But just like something small, and I like recording like parts of my journey, if you know what I'm saying, like parts of my life. Like at that time, that it was like a music band that I had tattooed on me, and that was a big part of my life from like 16 to like 20. And then obviously, if I was to have one around this time, it'd be like an anime tattoo, kind of recording that part of my life. It would have to kind of mean something, like a major kind of meaning. But yeah, off topic again. I see them as like scars a little bit. I like my scars. Don't have many, but they're stories again, aren't they? Almost like proof of your existence. They become food for the new child of darkness. So yeah, there's all these deaths and all this bloodshed is now feeding this transition. I say transition like he's having a sex change. this evolution. I guess he is kind of having a sex change. I guess he's now going from a male to a sexless demon. They become food for the new child of darkness. Look at that. So what's happening to him here? Is he just, that his head just getting fucking, or is that the armor getting melted down? Just wait, Griffith. I'm coming to save you. But you can see what's happening in there. Almost looks like he's burning, doesn't it? Like burning the skin off his old body, burning that away, becoming a new being. I'll get you. I'll get you out of here soon. It's useless. The strength of man will no longer prevail. Besides, you are mistaken in thinking you will save him. This is what he wanted. You should have been able to... Sorry. Shut up. You should have been able to hear it. What he definitely said last. Shut up! We did. Refice. What he said last, wasn't it? Look at that little... look at that little smile there from this dude. It's quite nice. Well, I don't know what the word for it is. It's definitely not nice, but it is. These demons are actually talking to Guts. Like he's just a mere human, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe they realize he is more than just like this mere human. But like they're talking to him, and they could just literally just kind of kill him instantly, if you know what I'm saying. They're actually like speaking to him and understanding him and not helping him or anything, but telling him the truth. I'm telling you to shut up! Eek. There's no way he'd do that. What is this? What is this? But he was caught off guard. Is it his knife getting like flung up, or what's happening here? Something's happening. Is it Guts' knife? But he's got his knife here. I don't know what that is. What is this? You guys, please let me know if you guys know what that is as well. I've got no idea what that is. What's this? Am I being stupid right now? Is it Guts' belt thing? I guess so. Don't know what else it'd be. Can't imagine it would go over the height of fucking of Slane. Maybe not. Don't know. Don't know. It'd never say anything like that. In life, unrelated to one's social standing or class is determined by man. There are some people who by nature are keys that set the world in motion. They are the true elite, as dictated by the golden rule of the universe. They obtain the power of gods. He wouldn't say, for no other's sake, to accomplish it for himself. For himself. A dream. Is this? Do you think that I'm cruel? See, the signs have been there, as we can see right now. Like these words, they said here. In this context, he fucking sure would say sacrifice. But during the time, it did just kind of seem like that kind of human talk. Like just getting things off his chest, just saying what he thinks. And that's kind of agreeing. But again, in this context, it is that kind of darker side to him, isn't it? Seeping out. Almost asking for, well, not really asking for kind of to be accepted, but it's like he probably feels the only person he can reveal that side of himself to is Guts. They're quite similar in that way, I guess. Different, but similar in that way. Which sounds completely stupid, I know, but it's quite paradoxical. I'm quite a paradoxical person the way I think about stuff. I'm quite a person that thinks something, but then thinks something that completely goes against what I originally thought. Sometimes it's smart to think like that, and sometimes it's very stupid, so yeah. Is this what you wanted? And it's very hard to explain things like that as well. These faces don't look too sad or anything. Creepy. Gasa. Looks like they're on their way to Guts, these monsters. That's a sick shot there, isn't it? Sacrifice. Damn. Oh, that's sick. Oh, maybe that was part of. So maybe it was part of Guts' knife. Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? What we saw earlier. See, I didn't notice how it was cut off here. I just thought it was. I just thought it was in that guy's face. So that was part of Guts' the blade of his small knife that shot up here. Okay. Because we've seen so many shots of the knife and stuff in the faces, I just kind of thought that was what was happening. Yeah, sick shot here. The monster's closing in on Guts. Gritting his teeth with the tiniest fucking knife you've ever seen. I better go up against these monsters with, again, the tiniest fucking weapon you've ever seen. But a weapon nevertheless, I guess. He just looks absolutely, looks like he's gonna brutalize these monsters more than they look like they're gonna brutalize him, don't they? Let's go, Guts. As the form is pretty much being cemented, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like that kind of outer shell, the kind of you know, it goes with that kind of butterfly moth stuff. The kind of outer shell of Griffith is becoming his new kind of demon armor. That's what's evolving around him rather than his actual body kind of changing that much or anything. It's the coating of him. And he's turning from that ugly. I like caterpillars. That ugly caterpillar. You would notice I'm quite fond of insects. I was quite an insecty kid when I was growing up. Before I got to high school, I was always digging dirt, see what creatures were available and such. I say available. I used to have this well as well that I'd sometimes like keep spiders in and such. It's quite weird, but quite like animals in general and insects. Insects are just animals, in my opinion. Like a lot of people are quite scared of insects, but it's changing from that kind of ugly caterpillar and going into a beautiful butterfly or moth. Another bum. They're quite fond of the bum in these in this volume, aren't they? It has been determined. These sparkles as well. As we're back with Rika. Okay. We're going to be seeing Skull Knight soon as well. That would just be the kind of cherry on top, wouldn't it? I love Skull Knight. That's it. Everyone's beyond that hill. What is that? If I remember correctly, it's like a typhoon, and this is where we start getting the stuff away from what the anime showed us, isn't it? Although there's already been slight differences already, like little bits left out. But this is where it really kind of differs, isn't it? Oh wow. In the movie, it kind of looked very kind of cloudy and misty and such, but it's really quite profound here. It's really just what it is, if you know what I'm saying here. It literally is just like a typhoon and thunder. Is it typhoon or is it hurricane? I'm not sure. Again, I'm no scientist, but I remember the surrounding it. It was hard to see anywhere around it, but here you can actually kind of see the background. You can see what's behind and such. It's just like focused on this place. It looked quite a lot bigger in the anime movie. Look at that. Where the hell's it coming from, my dude? It's coming from the moon and the sun. It's coming from the eclipse. There's little Rika. Lucky you're not in that, my dude. You're lucky you're not in that. A whirlwind? No. Where are they? What's he spotted? A demon. Monster. Oh, it is. I did not think that was odd. I thought maybe he was getting a glimpse of what was happening inside the eclipse there, but that is Skull Knight's horse and Zodd. So you can very much be forgiven for not thinking that's the case, but here they are. Outline of. It looks a hell of a lot smaller, doesn't he, Skull Knight? And there's Zodd right there. Hey, the feast end. And that is the end of this volume. What a way to end off again. Cherry on top right here. Skull Knight facing off against Zodd. I just love Skull Knight. Fortunately, we didn't get like a facial or frontal. I think the word for it is actually not facial. Frontal kind of shot of him. I love the frontal shots of. Sounds weird, but yeah, I love the kind of full body facial facial shots of Skull Knight. As weird as that sounds, he just looks cool as hell. I bet the author has a fun time. The mangaka, sorry, has a fun time drawing him. as he faces off against Zodd. An awesome image to end it off there, and yeah, that is the end of the of this volume, and it was a hell of a volume. I'll say that, hell of a volume. It wasn't exactly in capturing what I was thinking this last chapter. I kind of thought we'd see a few members of the Hawk die in this volume, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. I imagine we'll probably see that in the next one. I'm not going to spoil the cover for the next one just yet. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, very awesome volume in general, wasn't it? Very awesome. Probably one of the, in terms of artwork, I think definitely in terms of artwork, the best volume, yeah, that's for sure. In terms of the story, there was a lot of good moments in the story, wasn't there? Again, obviously, because this is pretty much centered around Griffith, especially with Griffith and seeing his backstory again. That was some of my favorite kind of segment in Berserk that I've read as of yet. The story in this again was surprisingly really strong. It wasn't the strongest of the, again, in the anime. There wasn't like the biggest takeaway I got from the eclipse, or what was happening, like. Griffith's situation obviously was a big part of it, but it wasn't kind of my main kind of most favorite part and best part of that experience in the anime. But I think so far that has been my kind of favorite experience, and just seeing Griffith and his kind of evolution and almost this kind of self-acceptance in a way. And obviously Guts helped, I say helped, made Griffith kind of forget about his dream a bit, but now he's kind of fully back on that track and fully understands what his whole life has been up until this point with that dream, and the sacrifices he's made and the sacrifice other people has made for his dream. He just knows exactly what to do now. I just really enjoyed that storyline. Kind of got a little bit more of that today, a bit more in a sad fashion with Guts, of course, and Griffith sacrificing everyone. But yeah, hell of a volume. Can't wait for the next one. Next one is bound to be insane. Lining up to be probably the best volume yet. The next one. This one has definitely been one of mine, if not probably my favorite volume as of yet. But again, it's only like kind of 10 to 20% of the craziness so far, so yeah, can't wait. Do let me know, guys, for these chapters later down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'm now 2 episodes ahead. I'm now 2 videos ahead, so I think I've got one saved on my YouTube for this Friday. It's Wednesday, I'm recording today. I think I've got one saved for this Friday, so I think this will be coming out Tuesday. And if this comes out Tuesday, I should be back on Friday with volume 13. So I think I got that right. Then hopefully you can join me then, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.